सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. We are in chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita and we have completed up to 16th sloka. We have to take up 17th now. Paramatma is graphically describing a jnani and his lakshanas so that we can emulate a jnani and become one. So in this context, we will see how a jnani looks like. Bhagavan started this description from sloka number 13 and he will proceed up to 19. And 20th sloka is the conclusion of this chapter, Upasamharam. Yo na hrushyati na dveshti na sochati na kanchati Subha subha parityagi bhaktiman yas same priyaha yaha na hrushyati. Whoever is not bloated by getting whatever he wanted in the times of excitement, in the times of joy, he doesn't lose his balance. Yaha na hrushyati. Na dveshti. Yaha na dveshti. Whoever is not having any hatred at any corner of his mind. Yaha na sochati. Whoever is not in grief. Yaha na kanchati. Whoever is not having the mundane desires. Yaha subha subha parityagi. Whoever has renounced subham and asubham. That means papam and punyam. Saha bhaktiman me priyaha. Such a jnani bhakta is my beloved one. I love him the most. Yaha na hrushyati na dveshti na sochati na kanchati. Yaha subha asubha parityagi bhaktiman asti saha me priyaha bhavati. Whoever is not very much delighted and not bloated at the times of joy, in times of happiness, whoever is not out of balance, and whoever is not having any kind of hatred, whoever doesn't grieve, whoever doesn't desire, in the similar way, whoever renounces subham and asubham, such a bhakta is dear to me. So Paramatma has given two different situations, two extreme opposites, and jnani doesn't get affected by these extremes. That means he is dvandvatitaha. Na hrushyati na sochati. He is not totally elated, nor he is totally depressed. Whatever you desire, if you get, it is very natural that one will be in the highest state of joy. They usually say he is painting the city red. So in that excitement, in that happiness, he will lose balance and he may insult people. out of ego. In the similar way, if a person is in a depressed mode, he will shun the society and he will, scold these, persons who transact with him. Sometimes he will also manhandle people. So these kinds of things we see in nature. This is quite common in day-to-day life. But on the contrary, a jnani doesn't lose his intellect, doesn't lose his balance. In times of joy, in times of excitement, and also in times of depression, in times of sorrow. So, irrespective of situation, his mind is always sharp. Because of his Viveka Shakti, he can win over Ragam and Dvesham. If you are surrounded by Ragam and Dvesham, it is quite but natural to get affected by emotions. And that emotion will cover your intellect and you lose balance. But in the case of jnani, it is not so. A jnani will not lose his balance. Rama's Pattabhishekam was decided and he was announced as the successor of Dasaratha. And next day he is supposed to take the seat and he is supposed to rule the kingdom. But then the things have changed diagonally opposite. Things have turned totally different. Then the situation changed totally. Rama was asked to go to forest. But then Rama did not lose the temper. That is Lord Rama. Whereas Lakshmana lost his cool. He was so upset and he started scolding everybody. Lord Rama did not do that. That means his Viveka Shakti dominated the emotions. If you get some kind of giddysomeness while driving, it is not proper to drive. What you have to do is you have to take an intelligent decision and bring the car towards the side of a road and then stop it. In the same way, when we are in the journey in a car called life, when the mind is tormented by emotions, by anger, you should not express, you should not, show your anger immediately. On the contrary, you can take a break, sit quietly, spend some time and see that your anger gets reduced. Jnani doesn't get too much elated in times of joy, nor he is totally depressed in times of sorrow. He is always in his balance. Na dveshti na kanshati. He doesn't hate anyone, nor he desires anything. Kansha means ragam. Dveshti means dvesham. He doesn't have ragam and dvesham. So, he has conquered both ragam and dvesham. This doesn't mean a jnani doesn't have any desire. If you want to flourish, if you want to prosper in the life, you need to have desire. In the Shastra, it is said that you can have any number of desires provided they are dharmic, moderate, and they should be non-binding. Even for that matter, our devatas, they have their own likings. That's what our Pujya Swamiji often says. Payasanna Priya, Pasuloka Bhayankari. That's what we see in Lalita Sahasranama. Lalita Parameshwari likes Payasannam. Saraswati Devi likes Veena. Krishna Paramatma likes flute. Like that, they have their own instruments, their own ayudas. Krishna Paramatma uses disc, and Rama uses dhanus, that is bow. Like that, they have their own favorite instruments or ayudas. So, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is said that when Brahma was alone, he felt lonely and he wanted to become many. That's how the creation took place. So, to have a desire is not wrong. You can have any number of desires, but the desire must be legitimate, moderate, and non-binding. Subha Parityagi is beyond papam and punyam, is above punya papas. Subham means punyam, asubham means papam. According to Vedanta, even punya is a bondage. If you have that punya sesham, you go to Swargalokam. That is okay. That's a good thing. But the moment you spend all your punya, then you are bound to fall. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. Kshine punye bhatyadokam vishanti. When the punya is over, they fall to Manushya-loka. Punya doesn't give Saswata phalam. Punya means golden bond. Papa means iron bond. When somebody need to be punished in a royal family, they sack his head with a golden sword. The punishment remains same. Whatever be the sword, golden or ordinary. So, a jnani is beyond punya and papa. That doesn't mean jnani does not do anything. Jnani is into the transactions, but he doesn't accrue any punyam or papam because he is doing karma as a karta and enjoying phala as a bhokta. Bhaktiman yaha saha me priyaha. Such a jnani bhakta is my beloved one. Such a jnani bhakta, I love him the most. I love such a jnani bhakta the most. We'll see sloka number 18. Samatsetro cha bitre cha tadamanav Sitoshna sukha dukkeshu samassanga vivarjitah. Setro mitrecha, in enemies and friends. Manava manayoho, in times of honor, in times of respect, in times of disrespect and insult. Samaha, he is having balance. He doesn't lose his temper. Tada, in the same way, Sitoshna Sukhadukkeshu, in the extreme climates, in times of extreme cold, in times of extreme hot, in times of extreme happiness, in times of extreme sorrow. That means Dvandva, Samaha. He always maintains his balance. He is at his composition. Sangha Vivarjitaha. He is not attached. He is not affected by the extremes. May it be Sitalam, may it be Ushnam, may it be Sukham, may it be Dukkham. Samaha Setrocha Mitrecha Tatha Mana Avamanayoho Sita Ushna Sukha Dukkeshu Samaha Sangha Vivarjitaha. In case of enemies, in case of friends, in times of honor, in times of insult, he doesn't lose his balance. In the same way, in the extreme conditions, in the extreme temperatures, in the times of extreme cold, in the times of extreme hot situations, he is not affected. That means his body will feel the difference. Mind you, there is a slight understanding. You should not understand that in case of extreme cold, he will not get that cold temperature and all that. He is beyond the temperature change. That is not the message. That is not the idea to be carried home. The idea is, though extremities are there, he doesn't brood. He doesn't make a hue and cry. The temperature will be same for Jnani as well as Ajnani. Jnani's body and Ajnani's body will have the experience of extremes. But a Jnani is mentally stable, mentally strong. So, in times of extremities like Sitalam and Ushnam, Sukham and Dukkham, that is all Dvandvas, he is not affected. He maintains his balance. Shetro Mitrecha Samaha. Na jataha Shetruhu yasya saha ajata Shetruhu. One who doesn't have any enemy is called Ajata Shetru. That is the title given to Dharmaraja. Krishna Paramatma will not look at Duryodhana as an enemy and will not hate him. Similarly, he will not favor Arjuna and ill-treat an enemy. So for him, everyone is equal. So in the same way, he maintains that samatvam. Samatvam nama ragadvesha varjitatvam. What is this equality? Equality means living ragam and dvesham. Not having ragam, not having dvesham. Ragam means attachment, dvesham means hatred. Both are not there in case of jnana. That doesn't mean a jnani will bear anything. If a person insults and if he misbehaves, he can keep his foot down and corrects him. You should not take that jnani simply bears whatever the nonsense that others create. No. When a punishment is required, he punishes. Though he punishes, He punishes them for good with love. Like a mother punishes a child so that the child can correct the mistake. Tada manavamanayo. In the same way, in times of manam and avamanam, in times of honor, in times of insult, he is not affected. He doesn't brood. In times of manam, he is not totally on the high spirits and lose the balance. In times of insult, he is not in fury, he is not in anger. So he always maintains the balance. Sitoshna sukha dukkheshu. In times of extreme weather and in times of extreme happiness, in times of extreme unhappiness, in simple terms, we can say in dvandvas, the pair of opposites, is not affected, is the same. That means he has that shock absorber called jnanam. Whenever there is a problem, he always thinks, is this problem belong to Atma or Anatma? If it is a problem of Atma, I will face it. If it is a problem of Anatma, I will not brood. He will address if required, but he will not brood. Samasanga vivarjitaha. That means he maintains asangatvam. If everyone is happy, he is happy. If everyone is unhappy, he is not unhappy. So, he doesn't have this attachment towards people, towards places, towards events. Tulyaninda stute mauni santushto yena kenachit aniketa sthiramatihi bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Tulyaninda stutihi. Same thing. Ninda stuti. Ninda means insult. Stuti means praise. Tulya. Tulya means he takes it equally. Mauni. Mauni means he analyzes things. Yena kena chit. Santushtaha. He is happy with whatever is available and he is content with whatever is available so that he can lead his life with full contentment. Aniketaha. He doesn't desire anything. He doesn't desire all mundane comforts, mundane things. Sthiramatihi. His mind is so much focused onto Atma. It is not wavering. Bhaktiman naraha me priyaha. Such a jnani bhakta is my dearest one. Tulya ninda stutihi. So, ninda and stuti, this is the pair of opposites. Ninda means insult, blame. Stuti means praise, honor. Tulya means he treats them equal. Censure and pleasure are mere vibrations of air. That's what Vidya Prakasanandaji used to say. Mananasilaha. So, he is good at analysis. He can analyze things. He is not affected simply by the appearance. just for the sake of living, whatever happens, whatever comes his way, he takes it with full contentment. He doesn't have any kind of desire towards anything. He's having sthira buddhi. He's having focused mind. Such a bhakta, such a jnani bhakta is the dearest bhakta to me. I like him the most. Tulya ninda stutihi. Ninda means criticism. Stuti means praise. Earlier he said manava manayoho. Now ninda and stuti. Manava manayoho means that is kayikam. That may be for body. Sometimes you may get honor by a great people. They will ask you to come and address. They will honor you with clothes. They will honor you with a lot of comforts. This is all kayikam. Avamana means they will insult, not morally but physically. They will sometimes beat. So when people manhandle, or when people treat a person with lot of comforts, that is called manam avamanam. Ninda stuti, they are pair of opposites, but this is vachikam, oral. So one is a kayakam, another one is vachakam, pair of opposites, oral pair of opposites. Mana means somebody will garland. Omana means they will take the garland. You think that garland is for you, you bend your head. That garland goes to a person next to you. You don't feel insulted because you are a jnani. So this is manam and avamanam. Now you see the elections time. People, they do lot of mudslinging. They are talking ill of the other party. So this kind of insult is called ninda. Stuti means their own party, they do stuti. So a jnani is not affected by ninda, nor he is affected by stuti. Is not affected by criticism, nor he is affected by the encomiums. Santushto yena kenachit. So whatever is available, he is happy and content. Jnani is happy and, even for a small thing. For some people, there is no contentment. For such people, it's very difficult even to offer coffee. So you have to be very precise how much of milk you have to use, how much of sugar you have to mix, how much of coffee powder you have to put. All these things, they are very specific. If there is any difference, slightest difference, they will not tolerate. They will immediately shout. Such people, they are stuck with ragam and dvesha. So, these people who always want everything perfectly, they are perfectionists, no doubt. They want others also to be perfectionists. They want everything to be perfect, clean, and without any flaw. So they have a place for everything. If a thing is not in its place, they'll shout. Yena kena chit. Yena kena chit means a jnani will take everything as a Bhagavat Leela. So he doesn't desire anything, whatever comes to his way, whatever is offered to him, he takes it as Ishvara Prasada. So when a sannyasi says, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi, whatever comes, he has to take it as a Bhiksha. He cannot say, I want this, I don't like this. This type of word should not come from a sannyasi. So, a jnani is like this sannyasi. Aniketaha. Aniketaha means sannyasi. One who has no house. One who is niketaha. Niketaha means house. Aniketaha means a sannyasi. One who is not having any house. Sura mandira taru mola nivasaha. Sayya bhutala majinam vasaha. Sarva parigraha bhoga tyagaha. Kasya sukam na karoti viragaha. Wherever he gets, the bhiksha, wherever he is offered to sleep, he sleeps there. He sleeps on the floor. He sleeps inside the temple. And that itself gives him a lot of comfort. Because of Atma Jnana, Stiramatihi, his mind is so strong. And because of this Atma Vidya, he is not affected by pair of opposite. Atmana vindate viryam, vidyaya vindate amrutam. Therefore, a stiramatihi means one who is having doubtless knowledge. Stira means focused, doubtless. Matihi means vijnanam. Stiramatihi means doubtless knowledge. One whose knowledge is doubtless. One who knows aham brahma asmi. Bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Such a jnani, I like him the most. Etu dharmyamrutam idam yadhoktam paryupasate Shraddadana mat parama bhaktastheti me priyaha. Yetu Shraddadanaha mat paramaha yadha uktam idam dharmya amrutam paryupasate te bhaktaha me ativa priyaha. Whoever is Shraddadana, whoever is having Shraddha, mat paramaha, who is having dedication unto me, yadha uktam, as mentioned in the Slokas 13 to 19. Idam dharmya amrutam. So this dharmamrutam, paryupasate, whoever is consuming this with nishkama bhakti, whoever is following, that means whoever is following dharma, te bhaktaha me ativa priyaha. Such a jnani bhaktas, I like them the most. Etu shraddadanaha mat paramaha bhaktaha idam yadhavuktam. Dharmya amrutam paryupasate te me ativa priyaha santi. Whoever is having Shraddha and Bhakti, and whoever is focusing their mind onto me, and who dedicates their work unto me, and whoever is leading Vedic life with Nishkama Bhakti, such an altruistic Jnani Bhakta I like him the most. So, after hearing the description of Jnani, we usually get a doubt how to become one. This is a kind of shortcut. Is there any shortcut so that I can become a Jnani? There is no shortcut. In the beginning of this chapter, Paramatma explained the 5-rung ladder. So, wherever you are, you have to climb up. If you are on the top of the ladder, then you have to stay in that nishtha. Then you have to stay in that nishtha. So, in this sloka of 20th, Paramatma is concluding this Bhaktiyoga. So, Paramatma is saying, Idam yadoktam paryupasate. Whoever is following this Bhakti Yoga in the way it is said, then they are bound to become Jnani. So, what is that Adhavuktam? What is that is mentioned here in this chapter? If you recall, Karma Yogam, there are 2 levels. That is, level 1 of Karma Yogam is Sakama Karma Pradhana Karma Yogam. Karma Yogam level 2 is Nishkama Karma Pradhana Karma Yogam. Then Upasana Yogam again is divided into 2. Upasana Yogam level 1 is Ekarupa Ishvara Dhyanam. Upasana Yogam level 2 is Anekarupa Ishvara Dhyanam. Jnana Yogam is Nirguna Brahma Jnana. Now, in the 5-rung ladder of Bhakti Yogam, the lowest rung is Karma Yogam level 1. The next one above this is Karma Yogam level 2. Above this, Upasana Yogam level 1. Above this, Upasana Yogam level 2. Above this is Jnana Yoga. So ultimately, from Karma Yogam, you have to escalate to Upasana Yogam. From Upasana Yogam, one has to escalate to the ultimate Bhakti, that is Jnana Yogam. Jnanam is the Bhakti Parakashta. Karma Yogam plus Upasana Yogam plus Jnana Yogam, that is what we call Bhakti Yoga. People think that Jnana Yogam is not Bhakti. Jnana Yogam is totally different. It is not so. It is not the right understanding. Dharmyamrutam means the result which is final and lasting. Amrutatva hetu bhutam bhakti yogam ityardaha. Dharmyam means one who follows the Vedic teaching. Shraddha dana, if you follow the instructions of Paramatma meticulously. Mat paramaha, one who keeps me as the object, one who keeps me as the target. Te bhaktaha ativa me priyaha. So such bhaktas, such jnani bhaktas, ativa means the most dear, the most lovable to me. I love them the most. Ativa me priyaha means I love them the most. Ativa means the most. If you have Shraddha, Bhakti Yogam is bound to give phalitam. Bhakti Yogam is bound to give result. Mat paramaha means whose lakshyam is spiritual thinking. He should not have mundane targets. Such bhakta is called mumukshu. Mumukshu will transform himself into Jijnasu Bhakti and finally to Jnani Bhakti. Such a Jnani Bhakta is the most important and most dear to me. That is what Paramatma is declaring, and he is admitting that Jnana Yogam is the Bhakti Parakashta. So in this chapter, Paramatma initially categorized Bhakti into three and finally subdivided into 5 different layers, and he kept Jnanam as the topmost stage, and he has shown that every bhakta must reach to this Jnana Yoga. That is only the ultimate target. That's what Paramatma wanted to say. And he indirectly gave the prayojanam. He indirectly mentioned the advantage of Bhakti Yogam by mentioning the Lakshanas, by mentioning the Jnani Lakshanas, so that how a sadhaka can enjoy Jivan Mukti and thereby he can attain Videha Mukti. So with this, this particular chapter called Bhakti Yogam is over, and in the next class we will take up the summary of the 12th chapter. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Bhakti Yogo Nama Dvadasodhyayaha Harihi Om Tat Sat. So in Bhagavad Gita, which is a part of Upanishads and which is Brahma Vidya, which is also Yoga Shastra, which is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, the chapter titled Bhakti Yogam is over. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.